Hey there, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Talking to Myself, the part of the day where I talk to myself about things that I was thinking the night before. Shout out, of course, to all 575 subscribers at the time of me making this video. I truly do appreciate that. You guys, thank you so much. Also, shout out to Saratoga Peanut Butter. You know exactly why. And shout out to a company that I actually use, that I actually am a fan of. They're owned by a brother and a sister in Michigan, and it's called Lotus Flame Candle Company. They don't even know me. I just like the company. I'm not getting anything from them. They're a brother and a sister. They pimp out their family to help them make candles. Located in Michigan. They check all the boxes for those of you who are very either liberal or you're very conservative. They're black. It's black owned, it's Christian owned, and it's LGBTQ owned. My fiance and me, we like good smell. So if you're lady, if you're man, if you yourself like good smelling candles and you don't want to go to Bath and Body Works and buy that bullshit that's gonna burn out in about 2 weeks because they give you this little candle for about $6 to $10, go to Lotus Flame Candle Company. They have an online website where you can get a pack of 6 or something for like $60 or 4 for $60, which is a really good deal considering we've had these for 3 months and I'm burning one right now and I burn it every single day and it still hasn't gone out. So Lotus Flame Candle Company, shout out to you for being a great owned business. I've been shooting with the X100T, so shout out to it. It's a great camera. If I was to choose between, again, buying the X100V or the X100T, I would, and I had $1,300, I would pimp out an X100T. No doubt. I would get a thumb grip. I would get a leather grip. I'd get a nice strap. I would get whatever it is, a moment lens, a Tiffin filter, get with the adapter, a square lens hood, all the things. I would pimp out an X100T instead of getting an X100V. It's a great camera. I just don't like the 35mm focal length. I can't do anything else about it. I was gonna make a whole video about it, but again, the video didn't feel like me, and I'm not gonna put something out there that seems fake or seems like to me. It doesn't matter if you guys understand that I'm not doing something that I would do. It means a lot to me that I'm sticking to my guns and the fact that I don't wanna make reviews. I don't wanna make stuff that's trendy and everything unless it's something that I wanna do. I'm not going to do it for likes, for followers, for subscribers and things like that because again, this doesn't pay the bills. Now, thank you so much for the 575 people that are subscribed to me. I truly do appreciate it, and I take every single thing you take into 580 people. Thank you for the 5 that just subscribed in the last 10 minutes. But I don't ever want to put something out that's fake. That's weird to me. That's lame. That's disingenuous. I don't want to be a disingenuous person anymore. I used to be that guy long ago, but you know, and it brings me to this is some stuff I post on Instagram, like some posts I made yesterday. There were shots that were pleasing to me and pleasing to the eye because I started editing it differently and it was fun, but they weren't shots that told a story per se and ones that I really liked. Majority of the photos that I have on Instagram, they may seem redundant, but it's because I love telling the story of the people and things around me. CYRIAC7, Syriac 7, Jason S. Mayers, Young Ansel, J.A. Kiefer, J.A. yeah. A lot of, and there's so many more. Dunk Kid 23, insert content. There's so many people that I liked and that I follow on Instagram that I'm really big into. Really, because they tell stories about the places and the areas and the communities they're in. That's a big deal to me because that's hard. It's hard to be able to convey. John Ilko shared with me his Flickr. So John, hello to you and shout out to you. Thank you so much for sharing with me your Flickr. But with him even, it's like everywhere that John went and I looked in his Flickr, I knew exactly where he was and I felt like I was part of exactly what was going on because the way that he captured the story of the whole town. He didn't need 1,000 shots. Sometimes he took 10, sometimes he took 40, but he took enough to convey the emotions and things and the feeling, the vibe of the location, the town, the event he was at. I appreciate that. I like that. I like storytelling. That's the biggest thing for me. Whenever it comes to videography or photography, I love storytelling. If I could have any job in the world, the first one of them would probably be, I'd love to be a team photographer or a political photographer for a sports team or political figure, I would love that. I would love to be able to get on the inside and take photos for the production, just because I would love to tell a story about the highs and lows of a team, of a political campaign, of a tenure of a political figure. I would love to tell the story of that. I would love to tell it in its entirety, not just a one-day shoot. I would love for a long continuation of how these things develop. I would love that. I would love even more to do wedding photography, because that is a moment that you have one time, period. You only have your first wedding once. That's it. I would love to be able to tell those stories. That means something to me. Telling stories is something that I love to do. To me, that is harder than a lot of the things that we see online. And I'm not knocking anyone that does these things, that takes photos of the urban, decayed, rural landscape, and you go to these different locations. But for example, Kyle McDougall is a great photographer. He's someone who's taught a lot of people about film. He's helping out people. He makes a whole bunch of tutorials. But the thing is as Kyle McDougall has risen to fame, and you have Willem Verbeek and Jason from Grainy Days, as they've come up, and the film community has come up. And another thing is, in commercial work, for me being in there for 6 years, no one talks about gear, and no one really cares about film. I'm just gonna put that out there for you. In professional commercial work, no one's really giddy about film. Some people shoot it, but they don't. It's not a calling card. It's not like, oh, check us out, I shoot film. People just care about, are you getting the job done, or are you getting paid? And so, when it comes to these people, that's been the vibe, is the way that things are shot now. That's the way people are shooting them. And it's mostly, we're looking at the colors, we're looking at the feelings of that. But there are so many of you that are talented at that. And there's nothing wrong with those shots. You're going out and you have to take time to find this landscape. You have to go out and take the time to find these homes, these areas, these suburban, the rural, these buildings, all these things. You have to go out and you have to scout, and you have to find a spot I want to take a photo of. You have to go and do a photo walk. I get it. I do it too. But the thing to me is, I love when people tell stories about the people in their life, the things going on in their life, those that mean something to them, but even more just about people in general. I love photographing people. I love photographing, the feeling and the communication and the cooperation of a city. The pandemic sucks because I can't go into San Antonio and take, I've actually got quite a few photos of whenever I first got in the area. I would drive into San Antonio, drive down the Riverwalk, and maybe I'll post them, but people around the Riverwalk, at the business center, by the courthouse in Texas, all these things. And it was great. I've got photos of me in Austin doing the same thing during the pandemic. I met with some homeless people, talked to them, sat with them for about 40 minutes and hung out, got to take some photos of them, got to eat lunch with them, and documented my time hanging out with them. That's what I like. I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect of photography, videography. I enjoy that aspect of creating, because buildings, when we're gone, the buildings, the homes, all the stuff, that'll still be here, and someone's going to take a photo of that. That rustic, deserted gas station that we had, that someone took a photo of, someone is going to take a photo of that in a year, because it's still going to be there. It's still going to be standing probably. They're going to replace gas stations maybe with electric car fuel stations. Someone will be, taking photos of charge-up stations. It's always going to happen. But the people in your life and the events and things, that's not going to stay the same. Yeah, you can take a portrait every single day, but you know what? I challenge everyone who watches this, but especially those who take a lot of photos of inanimate objects. The people that you love, I challenge you to take 2 photos this week and post them or not. But these are going to be 2 tough photos. I challenge you to take a photo of the people, of someone, a group, or whatever you love. Take a candid photo of them that not only they will like, but that you yourself like. I love my fiance with all my heart. And to her and to me, she is the most beautiful woman in the world. And I have a certain standard of photo that I will put on the internet of her, because I know she's the most beautiful woman in the world, and I want everyone else to see her in the same light that I do. So there are certain angles that I won't put out there. There are certain outfits that I won't put out there, hair, like things like that I know that she wouldn't like, but even more that I know that I wouldn't like, because I have a certain standard for the way that I want the world to see her. You have certain standards for the way that you want the people you love to be seen by those in your world. And because of that, the same thing for my mom, my sisters, my dad. I have a certain standard for the way that I want them to be seen in the world, just like the way that I want to be seen in the world. I'm not posting a photo of me with my hair all fucked up and my teeth not brushed and my beard kind of sticking out and whatnot, because anyway, I have a certain standard of the way I want to be seen. I have that exact same standard for the people that I love in candid situations that I want to be seen. I don't want them twisting their neck in weird situations. I don't want them, sitting down slouched to where everything looks like they have rolls, or where they're hunched over, where they have a double chin because they're leaning back. There's a certain standard you have for these people. I challenge you. The first challenge I make to every single person watching this is take photos, candid photos of people you love, and see if they're good enough for you, not only for them, but see, are they good enough for you to be able to post those? And see if you can post those within a week. See if you can get one. Don't fake it. Not a portrait, a candid photo of someone that means something in your life, and see if you can create a photo in a moment without ruining the moment. Because here's the thing, you can take photos of people when they're laughing, but it's the fact that, can you keep the moment going? And that's hard. It is hard. A lot of times when I'm taking photos, people, even in my family, they'll just stop. They'll start smiling. It's not natural. You know exactly what I mean. That is hard. And the second thing that I challenge you to do, take a self-portrait. Take a self-portrait. Not mirror, selfie, camera. Set your camera up on a tripod. Figure out your distance, whether you shoot film, whether you shoot digital, does not matter. Figure out your background. Figure out if you want to smile, if you want to turn your head. Take a self-portrait. And see how fucking hard that is. And figure out, what story do you want that portrait to tell of you. Figure out how you feel. Figure out what you feel about yourself. Do you like you? It's fine if you don't. There's help for that. There's people that you can talk to about that. If you don't like yourself, but you be honest with yourself. Do you love yourself? Do you think you're handsome? Do you think you're beautiful? Are you kind of not in a good place right now? Are you stressed? Is it a black and white photo? Is it a color photo? What is it in front of? What is it behind? What exactly are you feeling? And convey that in a portrait, self-portrait. And I'm telling you right now, there is nothing harder than setting up a tripod and taking a self-portrait and not being critical of the way not only you look, but of everything around you. And listen, you can try to save yourself with a fast aperture, but that doesn't always work. I take self-portraits like once a week, where I set it up on a tripod and take a photo. It's something that I've been doing. Sean Tucker actually talked about it. I don't post a lot of them, but whatever feeling I'm feeling, that's the first few photos. That's what I take, and I switch to a smile. And I've got a folder that says self-portraits. I challenge you. I'll post one of mine. Take a self-portrait this week. See how that goes. Period. Don't think anything else of it. Take a self-portrait. Try to find the one that you are okay with and see how hard that is. If you can take it in one shot, that's great. And if you can't, that's great too. But try that. Try taking a candid photo of someone you love and try taking a self-portrait. Those are going to be two of the hardest photos you ever take if you're used to taking photos of inanimate objects or of landscapes or of cityscapes, because there goes so much more into it than just setting up, taking the photo, and then getting it developed. Taking the photo and looking at it immediately. Don't chimp, nothing. Take that photo. I don't know where the hell that came from, but that's my challenge. Damn, 14 minutes for that. Oh, doubt you guys even see this shit. So, shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. Shout out to Lotus Flame Candle, and shout out to Nikon Light Touch, Jason Kiefer. I really appreciate you pointing this out to me, man, because this has been fantastic. I love this camera. The Olympus XA2 is finally coming. I probably won't get it until next week because the woman was not shipping it to me, but this is great. Got to hang out, got to take some photos with it. Got to take some photos of me and my fiance. This is a nice selfie camera. Like, there's a 28mm focal length. 28mm focal length is just so versatile. It's ridiculous. I'll never turn away from this focal length. Honestly, I'm fine. I'm glad I'm done with the X100T. I'm not going to be doing that little project anymore, not posting that video, because now I can go back to 28mm focal length, which is what I love, because the story you can tell with that thing is amazing. So shout out to all you guys. Keep taking photos, keep film alive, and keep digital fun, and have a good one.